Win as one. EA Sports FIFA 21 sponsors Saturday Social.
We want to talk about transfers. It's got social media talking, isn't it? And at the moment, there is sort of one side that's the undisputed kings of the window. It's Chelsea, £200 million plus spent. 6 players have come through the door. We've seen Mason Mount very, very excited on social media with some of his new teammates, including Ben Chilwell. Here he says, "No need to be fouling me now, Benjamin. Welcome, bro." Ben Chilwell, of course, joining Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Ziyech, Silva, Sarr. Chunkz, let's come to you first. Of the players Chelsea have signed, who are you most concerned about as an Arsenal fan?
Timo Werner has got me shaking in my boots. Obviously, Chelsea were missing that clinical number 9. I feel, and with the bringing in Timo Werner, I'll be honest, I can't be asked. I reckon he's going to be dangerous.
Manny, as a Liverpool fan, last season, Frank Lampard, he finished 4th, 66 points, quite a way off the title. Do you think there's extra pressure on him now that he's had such big backing? Because £200 million plus is a huge window for them.
I think there is extra pressure, but I think he's also been smart. He's gotten someone that's proven to score goals, someone that's one of the hottest talents coming in Havertz, and he's also got an experience at the back in terms of Thiago Silva. So even if he's not playing, the experience that he'll bring to the Chelsea defence would be actually something different and something they may have lacked last season.
Manny, do you look at them as like genuine title contenders now? Because as Joe said, they were way off last season, but with the investment they've got, do you look at Chelsea as genuine title contenders to compete with Liverpool and Man City this season?
I think I look at a lot of people as title contenders because it's a reset. Everyone's going to come back with a different mentality. And even Liverpool, our first game is going to be Leeds, and that's going to be hard as well because they're coming up with a fire in their belly. It's their first game back in the Prem. It's not going to be an easy game. So I don't think the league's going to be easy at all this year.
Yeah, there's so many. It's so tough to call, Joe. I know we're going to do predictions shortly. I'm still thinking in my head, who do I think is going to win, going to make Europe, get relegated? We're going to wrap this section up. We're going to talk about all of the major teams and the major bits of business. So we've got to talk about Everton, because a lot of Everton fans on social media are getting quite excited. They've signed Alan, they've signed Decore. The one that they're most excited about is James Rodriguez. Manny is rolling his eyes. We're going to come to him shortly. But the James Rodriguez deal brought off some interesting tweets, shall we say. Matthew Stanger saying that he signed having watched highlights of Tony Hibbert. Chunkz, do you think that is what convinced James Rodriguez to sign for Everton? A highlights reel of Tony Hibbert. What else would it have been?
Bro, if that's what it was, then I'm very concerned because I don't know if there's enough footage on YouTube to have Tony Hibbert highlights. Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, Chunkz, I don't know how long that was, actually. We haven't got word of how long the highlights reel was. But we've got to come to Manny because you were rolling your eyes. A lot of Everton fans are excited. You've got your Liverpool top on there. Are you not concerned about this transfer at all then?
Do you know what? Because they did the same thing last time. I mean, obviously, I got love for Balassi, but they signed Balassi, they signed Pickford, they signed Will Keane, they signed Sigurdsson. And it's just like, what did you do with that? So they're doing the same thing again. So I guess till anything happens, they're still just Everton to me,
Wow, Joe, they're still just Everton.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some people on Sky Sports News describing James as the greatest deal in the sort of history of Everton Football Club, or at least the modern history of Everton Football Club. Chunkz, can you remember such a big name signing for a club like Everton?
I'll be honest, bro. Apart from the World Cup, I don't know what James has really done, though. So don't know what they're getting excited about. It could go left.
He's got a pretty good record, though. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. No, you think he's going to be a flop?
Yeah, bro, Coleman's got a great record. You know what I mean? But it's like it doesn't really mean anything. I don't think, bro. I'm not saying that he's going to be bad, but I'm just saying don't expect a madness straight away.
All right, fair enough. Well, while we're talking middle table teams, let's talk about your beloved Arsenal, shall we, Chunkz? Because I remember bringing up a tweet.
No. That's not the segue we're going for. We're going to have to change the way you spoke about my team, please, brother.
Well, I want to bring up a tweet that you sent last year. We've had it on the show, haven't we, before?
I don't remember that tweet.
I remember at the end of the transfer window last year, you tweeted this, saying top 4 has been confirmed when you sign these 6 players. So far this summer, we've seen Willian, Saliba, Gabriel, we've got Ceballos back on loan. Are you going to put your neck out on the line on Twitter again and say top 4 yet again?
So I've got a confession, bro. That wasn't actually me that tweeted it. My cousin had my password. And I have spoken to him about it. I was very upset that he did that without my permission. But you know what? This year, I'm actually going to keep quiet for the whole season regarding Arsenal. Just because, you know what I mean? They have broke my heart a couple times. So I'm going to be humble.
And Manny, about Arsenal, obviously they signed Willian, who's 32 on a 3-year contract. Do you think that's a little bit of a risk, or would you have given him that deal?
I mean, I think Willian's proven himself, especially over the last season. So I don't think that's a risk really, and it's like a free transfer as well. So I think that's a good transfer for them. They lack that sort of experience in their wingers normally, so I think he'll be good.
Yeah, we've also seen Ceballos return on loan. Chunkz, are you happy to see Dani Ceballos back? Because obviously he was key under Arteta towards the end, wasn't he?
Bro, after the restart, he was potentially our best player, man. So when I saw that fact that we re-signed him for another year, I was over the moon. Because honestly, I think he's potentially one of the best midfielders we have.
And Chunkz, Aubameyang, Arsenal fans love you. Arsenal fans love Aubameyang. Do you have a message for the Arsenal fans? Is Aubameyang going to sign that contract? Because it's been going on for a long time, this issue now. Yeah,
man. So obviously me and Mikel have been speaking, but I can't really disclose that information just because of the fact that we have that barrier, that trust. You know what I mean? So I can't just break it here, can I?
Okay, can't break it, so we'll wait and see what happens to that. Joe is desperate for us to talk Man United, of course. He's a huge Man United fan, as we all know by now. Joe, we're not going to talk Jadon Sancho yet, because for two reasons. We're going to discuss him later on in the show, and also he hasn't actually signed yet. So let's focus our attention on someone who has come through the door at Old Trafford, Donny Van de Beek. Now, this was the reaction from Ajax fans on his way out of the club. Manny, fair play to the Ajax fans. That's the reaction that they've had to him as he's about to leave the club. It goes to show how much they love him, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. Normally when someone does leave a club, the reaction's more negative. I've seen it, obviously, when Torres went to Liverpool. That's a different sort of scenario. But in terms of just giving support to the player for what he's done for them, I think it's always nice to see that. I have to be honest, I haven't really seen him play myself, but I've heard good things, and it's a shame he's going to Manchester United.
Well, one person who has seen a lot of him play, especially since he signed, Joe, you know quite a bit about him, a 23-year-old midfielder, quite a decent price tag as well. You are very excited about this transfer, right? But where do you think he'll fit into the current United system?
Yeah, I've been on the highlights. Goals and assists 2019. Welcome to Manchester United, Donny Van de Beek, HD. But yeah, I think that he's going to play as a rotation role, to be totally honest with you. I think United at the start of the season are going to probably use him alongside Bruno, because Pogba might have a little bit of a longer layoff after the coronavirus, and then he'll just rotate in and out. We had no squad depth last year, so I'm buzzing about it, Smithster. But do you know what? I want to move it on a little bit to some other clubs, because we're bored of talking about all of the big boys. Let's talk about some teams that have surprised me, I think. Newcastle have done some really good business. We want to talk a little bit about them. They've had some South Coast lads arrive up north. Andy Carroll, one of the Newcastle players, is absolutely buzzing about it.
Richie to Bournemouth? Don't think so. We'll bring Bournemouth to Richie.
I just love Matt Ritchie with a mouthful there. Just what an end frame that was, by the way. But yeah, what are you saying, Manny? What's your sort of thoughts on the Newcastle business? Because Ryan Fraser obviously took a little bit of stick from Bournemouth fans for leaving before the end of the season and not signing that new contract. Would you be thinking, he's a little bit of a snake? Or would you be thinking, fair play to him, he's kind of worried about his injuries and stuff like that?
Do you know, if there's one thing I've learned about football, is that for a lot of these guys, it's a short career, and it's not just a footballing decision. They also have to think about their lives as well. So I try not to give people stick when they make moves that are best for them, because at the end of the day, it's their decision. We're just spectators. So credit to him for doing what's best for him. And I saw they also got Callum Wilson as well. Yeah. So looking forward to him being fake on Football Manager again. And but yeah, I think that's good business for them. And also the familiarity that the two already have. That's really good. And then they'll link up with Richie as well.
And of course, Joe, if we're talking transfers, we have to talk about transfer announcement vids. None better, surely, than Tottenham Hotspur's genius announcement of Matt Doherty. 4 marks for everyone involved in this video. Have a watch. There we go. I love that myself. Joe's not having it. I like it. Just finally, transfer of the window so far. Quickly, Joe, who are you saying? Who's been the best buy?
Do you know what? I'll say Kai Havertz. I think it's a little bit of an overpayment, but what a player.
Okay, I'm going to go Hakim Ziyech just for the price tag and because of his goals and assists last season. I think that's a fantastic bit of business from Chelsea. Chunkz, who are you saying?
Timo Werner, man. I think he's going to be getting 25 goals a season comfortably.
And Manny?
I think I'm going to go with Chunkz Werner.